Hello, it's me again. I am so excited about this session and I wanted to share something special with you. So, we did the little jellyfish in part one, but I'm coming back to show you how to add layers, how to bring in detail, and of course, as promised, well, I didn't promise this, but I'm going to give a special little lesson on something that's coming up for our Briar group, and that is how to paint cephalopods and add texture details to help them camouflage themselves. So let's get to this second session on some of the of what can I not speak tonight? I might work on this large sheet or on some of the little projects I've done before. Let's see where my creative mind takes us. Okay. I felt so inspired by these little, what do you call them? Jellyfish. That I'm going to do an extra little love stream. Now, I don't know how much time I'm going to spend on that. I might even come back and add layers to this one. I'm just waiting for all of that to dry. So, let's use this sheet of watercolour paper I put on my table. Get everything else away and just have some fun. How's the sound? I unplugged the mic. Maybe I can plug that back in. Hang on. Okay, the mic is plugged back in, so you can have way more sound. I'm going to put the water just above my workstation. So this is an A3 sheet. Okay, inspiration. Now I have to show you something else. Now we are doing all kinds of sea creatures, oceans, lighthouses, seashells, storms, reefs, rocks, beaches, cephalopods, rock roses, captains looking out at the ocean, jellyfish, coral, and all kinds of beautiful things for term 3. And we'll be taking a deep, intensive look at mixing color combinations. Now, I don't want you to miss out on a single thing, but you'll have to log in every week or when you have time to watch the videos. We are setting up a new email system where you will get notifications every time I upload a new video for the membership. That way, making it easier for you to remember about lessons and to find things easier. Okay, now you have all the updates and upcoming things and changes that happened in the background. It's time now for us to see what will happen if we just love stream the rest of this session. Playing a little bit. This was an accidental discovery, which I loved, and I'll show you how I did that. Then this was from a class I followed. Now, she is supposed to be upside down, and I don't like to say the word octopus. So, what I'm going to say is cephalopod. So, octopi and inkfish and things like that are called cephalopods. So, let's see. Maybe we can. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I wanted to show you this as well. So I made a little booklet while I was practicing the cephalopods. and using different colors, coming back in when it's dry to add detail, and playing, making sure it blooms, and use different color combinations. Look at this Juan Brilliant with the ultramarine. It's just beautiful. Now that did come from another set, but you could easily use the yellow ochre thicker. That will give you that real texture there. So we'll go over some of those things. This one was interesting. Into the wet paint, I dropped some, it's like an ink, and you're going to laugh when I show you this, but you can actually buy it at Target and Kmart. So it comes in a set of 4 like this, glitter brush markers, and boy oh boy are these fun to work with, but also very messy. So you have to pump that to get the paint out, and it feels almost too risky to do it now. Let's see. There we go. So some of them actually ooze and drip, so be careful. This one's dry, I can reactivate, and it's a brush tip. Love this pink version. There's blue and green and oranges and yellows, and I've also seen, oh, that one came out very urgently. Now I used this one on that cobalt teal. I keep on calling it cobalt teal. I'll have to look it up. Right, it's not cobalt teal, it's cobalt turquoise. There we go. And this one is the lightest, but it's so beautiful and mesmerizing. Anyway, you don't have to have these to play along. I'm gonna put them away and quickly finish this. So these are more like ink fish or squid. Oh, that one needs a little bit of detail. So what I did here was, after it dried, so first let's talk about what I did first. So first I used very wet technique just to bring about those tentacles, and then I started separating them, thinking about which ones are in front and which ones will sort of come out from the others. Now, to demonstrate that, all you need is a little bit of color in that corner, and then soften that edge with more water, and then let it run, let it do what it needs to do. Oops, this water brush is very leaky, but it's nice for all these wet techniques. So something like this here, I feel there's not enough contrast. It's almost like they're the same tone. So I'm just going to add a little bit of extra blue there, well, cobalt tea, and this one now I want that one to be in front of this one, but now that one is thicker, so let's thicken up this one as well. Oh, love. Right. Again with water, soften that edge so you have a hard edge here and a soft edge on the other side. There we go. So this actually reminds me, I've been meaning to watch Pirates of the Caribbean again. I'm a huge Pirates of the Caribbean fan. Right, but that shouldn't come as a surprise. So, to get these squiggly marks, or what do you want to call it, shapes, on top of a dried piece, I'm going to mix up a color that will go on top of that. That isn't the same as the background color and also not the same as the outline color. So I'm just going to go for this really weird dirty mix. You could actually even activate something that's already on your pan, and make sure it's thin, very thin. I'm talking like dirty water thin. You don't want anything too prominent here. And select a few areas. So let's say his face with 2 or 3 of the tentacles that I want to come forward. So this one and that one comes together. I'm gonna, same as I did there, just bring it forward a little bit. Soften the edge. There we go. Now I'm going to take that dirty water mix and create patterns by squiggling my brush in selected areas like that. I don't know why I'm whispering. I think it's because everybody else is busy with their own thing and I don't want to bother them. This one can also come to the forefront. Right. Ooh, look at that. Then let's do that. So you'll see I'm starting from that wet puddle, just making squiggly marks, little circles here and there, a dot or two. So I'm gonna pop this one forward by letting those stay in the background and just defining the eye a little bit. And don't do this everywhere. You'll see that I didn't go around. I added a few here and there. And I want this to be on top of the other tentacle. And I'm going to use whatever was left there and just, you see I dipped it into the other one, back into the dirty mix and going in there. Add some more water. Love, 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 love. This one's in the back. Oh no, that's going to make her too prominent. Let's do that here on the front. Soft, soft, soft. Right. I'm switching to that other color I mixed up. Adding lots of water. And because that's cooler, it's going to recede. Let's put a bit of green in there. Yeah, now it's too thick. There we go, thin. And just to separate the back tentacles from one another, that cooler version with just a few marks here and there to define those tentacles. Good. I'm not going to fiddle anymore. I'm going to let that be. Now, if you feel the urge to do that again, do it on another piece. Don't overwork your little cephalopods. So let's play on this page here. Let that dry a little bit. What detail can we add? Maybe a few dots here and there. What are we going to use for that one? That limey green. Let's try it. Every time you try something new, make sure to not be too critical. Listen how I compliment myself, and you should compliment yourself too. Ooh, look at that. Beautiful. The more you do things, the better you'll get. See what the purple will look like on top of that. Gorgeous. Just a little hint of something. This one, let's see what the yellow will look like. And I'm not taking a concentrated amount. This is still very thin because I take water, put it in there, and these wells are almost empty. So in those empty cavities, I'm just putting water in and grabbing that. I would consider this like a milky thickness. So again, I'm going to do that with the yellow. I don't want it to stand out too much, but I do want to have something interesting there. Those two white dots can also be covered. Maybe let's give this one that little mushroom effect where the gills of the mushroom shows. And let's pretend that that was a little mushroom. Little bits of detail. For this one, let's go with this dark into that old mix. Perfect. That watery consistency on top of that watercolor is giving you the perfect blend. It's just a hint, just a little hint. So for this one, I'm going to go for the pink. Have you noticed that I love this opera rose? I mean, who doesn't? It just livens up everything. For this one, I'm going to accentuate a little tentacle. Okay, I'm happy. Oh, maybe something in the background here. Shall we do that? Oh, too much. Too much. That's okay. Lots of extra water. There we go. Let's put a drop of pink in there. Oh yeah. So that's going to bleed into that wet area. How I did that, let's do it somewhere else. Let's wet that area so that's completely dried. And you'll see it's shiny, glimmery and wet. And let's put pink in there. And I'm going to touch that hard edge there. And just let it do what it needs to do. Maybe take a thin version of that and just come around inside. Ugh. All right. So this is a hard edge on a dry side. This is wet, moving into dark. I think it's not moving enough. Okay. That should do. I'm gonna bring some of the tentacles from this outer edge to show that they are in front. Oops. That is my bell to remind me to stop and get into bed, because I'll keep going. So I had a lovely magnesium sulfite bath tonight, which means I am completely relaxed. My mind is now switched off from work. I'll probably upload this in a day or two, or tomorrow morning. See. And yes, by the time you're going to see it, it's going to be tomorrow morning. Oh, let's do this last one. A little bit of weight on that edge, and let's use that cobalt teal again, just for some definition and shadow. Now we can do that technique here with the dark. Okay. Now if you have white, I keep on saying, okay, last bit, last bit, last bit. This is the last little bit. For white, you could come in and add some of those marks. Here and there, not everywhere. And finish off your piece. I know I said we were going to work on this, but now the time has caught up. But we've done a lot of things. We've added layers. I've explained how I did that. We've receded and brought forward tentacles. We've added layers on top of that. And we had so much fun. Can you believe it's been another 20 minutes? All right. Good night. Sleep tight. I'll catch up with you very soon.